You're going to embark on a 6-session survey of the defense of the Christian faith. And you're to be commended for entering on this sort of thing because we're going to cover a great deal in the course of this week. All right. Let's begin then with the need for apologetics today. And we begin then with our contemporary situation. The problem of witness today. There are 3 words that characterize our time. Our age is secular, it is global, and it is pluralistic. Secular, global, and pluralistic. What do we mean by these terms? Well, global is easy enough. That, of course, alludes to that crazy Canadian Marshall McLuhan. Marshall McLuhan says ours is a global society, a global village, if you will. What does he mean? He means that people today are bumping up against each other to a far greater extent than they have before. Communications have reached such a pitch that people can't get away from each other. This means that a diversity of viewpoint today is unavoidable. We no longer are living in an age where everybody believes the same thing, or approximately the same thing. Not in the least. We're in a situation where we are meeting people all the time who maintain positions different from our own. There is no way really to avoid this. You just can't get away from that kind of situation because communications are as powerful as they are at the present time. Turn on the TV, walk down the street, go to an airport, makes no difference where you are, you constantly come into contact with a diversity of viewpoint. Ours is a pluralistic age. Not only are you bumping against a wide variety of people, but these people maintain a wide variety of different beliefs. We don't have a homogeneous religious situation today. Today, you go into your airport and you find people in saffron gowns with their heads shaved going dingle, 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 and they represent a different kind of position from one that would have made any kind of sense at all to people in the 19th century. Today, a diversity of viewpoint is obvious, and because of the global nature of things, you can't get away from the diversity. The diversity presses in upon you. But the most characteristic element in our current society, the one word that describes it maybe better than any other, is the word secular. What do we mean by secular? We mean that ours is an age where the classical Christian values of our civilization are no longer dominant. C.S. Lewis talks about the great divide in Western civilization. A divide, he says, that is greater than any other single separation in all of our Western history. Greater than the Reformation. And this is a division between the time when people thought Christian and the time in which we live when people don't think Christian. He places this in the 19th century. I think it ought to be placed in the 18th century. I think if you want to find an event to pin this divide upon, it would certainly be the French Revolution. Prior to the French Revolution, people are thinking Christian, fundamentally. After the French Revolution, people less and less think Christian. One of the best evidences of this is the fact that prior to the French Revolution, if you were a non-Christian, you expressed yourself in Christian terminology, whether you liked it or not. Why? Because that was the only way to be understood. Illustration, Thomas Hobbes, who wrote the Leviathan. Hobbes was an atheist. But when you pick up Hobbes' Leviathan, this work of political theory written in the 17th century, it reads like the King James Bible, not only in style, but also in the quotation of biblical verses and the like. There are people who have picked up Hobbes and they have thought Hobbes was a Christian. Actually, the man was an atheist.
Sample complete. Ready to continue?